Dads, what's the most expensive accident your kid has ever caused? I was 3 months into running my own IT consulting business when everything went sideways. Working from home meant my office was right next to my 15-year-old son Jake's gaming setup. He'd been begging me to upgrade his PC for months, but I kept saying no. Business was tight and every dollar counted. That Tuesday morning, I had a massive presentation scheduled with our biggest client yet. If we landed this contract, it meant steady income for the next 2 years. I left my office unlocked while grabbing coffee downstairs. Jake saw his chance. When I came back upstairs, Jake was elbow deep in my workstation. Dad, relax. I'm just installing more RAM, he said confidently. Except he wasn't just installing RAM. He'd somehow convinced himself my professional setup needed a gaming graphics card. I watched in horror as he yanked out components without grounding himself first. The static discharge was barely visible, but I knew. My heart sank as the screen went black. No, Dad. No, no, no. Jake kept pressing the power button, but nothing happened. That computer held everything. 3 years of client data, project files, invoices, contracts, and my backup drive, sitting right there unplugged because I'd been transferring files that morning. Jake had fried both the motherboard and the backup drive with one static shock. The silence in that room was deafening. Jake's face went from confused to terrified as reality hit. I just stood there holding my coffee, unable to speak. Finally, he whispered, Dad, I'll fix it. I'll figure something out. But there was nothing to fix. Data recovery specialists wanted $15,000 just to attempt retrieval with no guarantees. I had to call 23 clients that week explaining why their projects were gone. Most were understanding. 5 weren't. Our biggest client, the one I was presenting to that afternoon, they dropped us immediately. That contract alone was worth $200,000 over 2 years. Other clients followed, citing reliability concerns. Within a month, we'd lost 60% of our business. Jake tried everything to make it right. Got a job at Best Buy, sold his gaming console, his bike, even his signed baseball collection. Every penny went toward the business, but it was like using a garden hose on a forest fire. The worst part wasn't the money, though. It was watching Jake carry this weight. He stopped gaming completely. Barely talked at dinner. His grades tanked because he was working every hour he could after school. 6 months later, I was seriously considering closing the business when Jake came to me with a stack of papers. Dad, I've been learning, he said quietly. Turned out he'd been taking online courses in data recovery and cybersecurity, spending his breaks at Best Buy studying with the tech team. He'd also been talking to our lost clients, explaining what happened, taking full responsibility, and somehow this kid had convinced 3 of them to give us another chance. If we could prove our new backup systems were bulletproof, Jake had designed the entire system himself. Triple redundancy, cloud backups, automated fail-safes. It was better than anything I could have built. We implemented it, and slowly clients started coming back. 2 years later, we're bigger than before. Jake works with me part-time as our security specialist. He jokes that his $200,000 mistake was the most expensive education he ever got. Last week, that same big client called asking if we'd bid on a new project. During the meeting, they mentioned how impressed they were with our recovery story and our new systems. Jake was in the room this time, presenting his security protocols like a pro. After they left, he turned to me and said, "Remember when I said I'd fix it?" I nodded. "Took me 2 years, but I think we're finally even." He grinned. "Not even close," I replied. "You're worth way more than any contract." Funny thing is, if Jake hadn't fried that computer, we'd probably still be running on outdated systems. Sometimes the most expensive mistakes teach the most valuable lessons. So next time, maybe just ask before upgrading anything, yeah?